Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today I'm going to be making a delicious appetizer 2 different ways. So here is what I am making today. I'm sure this cut of meat doesn't really look that familiar to you. A lot of you, I bet you it is. Today we're going to be making rib tips, and I'm going to be doing it 2 different ways. We're going to be doing one sweet, one savory. So here's one of our rib tips. The rib tip is a leftover trim from the spare ribs. You have the chine bone right here, and then you have a bunch of little cartilage chunks inside here. This is why a lot of people like to cut it off, but I think this is some of the best meat that you can get. So that's why these are going to be great for little appetizers. Let's get these seasoned up so we can get them right out on the smoker. Here's that chine bone I was talking about, runs through here. So like I said before, we're doing one of these sweet and one of these savory. Just want to lather these up a little bit to get that seasoning to stick nice. Today I'm going to be using some Worcestershire sauce. You don't need too much. You can see this meat. This is some really good meat, good fat to meat ratio. This is going to be delicious for some little appetizers. This should be good. All right, so for the sweet, I'm going to go with the barbecue rub that I made. If you want to see how that barbecue rub is made, check out my pork loin video. It's the same rub that I made in that video. If you have your own barbecue rub you want to use, go for it. Now for the savory, I'm just going salt and pepper. Super simple. The barbecue rub that I made for the sweet one doesn't have any salt, so I'm going to put salt on both of these. I just have some kosher salt here. It should have coated nicely, both sides. All right, so if you guys are enjoying this video, please like it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I got new videos coming out every week, so you want to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. Also, I'm always looking for suggestions, so if you have something that you want to see me cook, please put it in the comments down below. Let's go right ahead and get the sweet one seasoned first with this nice barbecue rub I got. Like I said, I made this rub in a pork loin video. I'll tag the video. Be sure to watch it if you want to see how this is made. Get all the sides. All right, that's looking pretty good. Put a little more on for good measure. That's why I don't like to add salt in my rubs, because now I can put as much of this rub as I want without it being overpowered with salt. All right, so there we go. Got our sweet barbecue rib tips. Now for the savory, we're just going with some pepper. So if you've seen my other videos, you know I love using this butcher style pepper. It's super coarse and has an awesome flavor. Produces a nice bark, but it is very strong, so you don't want to go too heavy with it. Combo with this pepper and salt, it just brings out the pork flavor phenomenally. So I love just going super simple with salt and pepper. If you're looking for a little color on here, go ahead and throw a little paprika. All right, there we go. These are all set for the smoker. Check these out. Here's our savory. See those big chunks of pepper on there? Absolutely delicious. And here's our sweet, a little bit of sugar in here, bunch of good seasonings. Make sure to check out that video to see how it's made. Let's get these right outside and on the smoker. All right, let's get these rib tips on. All right, got our beautiful rib tips on. Get the smoker closed up and let these cook. All right, so I got those ribs on the smoker. I'm going to be running this thing around 275 degrees, trying to maintain it there. So I'm going to let these go for about 2 hours before I check them. At that point, I'm going to look at them, see how they're coming along, and probably spritz them with some apple cider vinegar and water. When these get to the point that I'm ready to pull them off and wrap them, I'm going to take the sweet ones. I'm going to wrap them up in tin foil with brown sugar, honey, and butter. For the savory ones, when they're ready, I'm going to pull them off, wrap them up in butcher paper with some lard. That's it. I'll see you when I check on these ribs. All right, so here's our nice rib tips. These have been on for about 2 hours now. Let's take a look at them. Starting to render down real nice. Get a nice crust on there. I'm just gonna go ahead and spritz this with a little apple cider vinegar and water. All right, there we go. So probably getting close to wrapping time. Wait maybe another hour or so. Check for tenderness and we'll probably pull it off and wrap it. All right, so we're at 3 hours on these rib tips and they are looking good. Check out the salt and pepper. So getting a nice bark on here. This one's even darker because we've got all that sugar in that rub. So let's see how they are for tenderness. Yeah, these are pretty tender. Definitely ready to wrap. Let's check this one's a little thicker. Oh yeah, these are ready to go. The crust is awesome. Let's get these wrapped up. All right, you saw those ribs out there. They are ready to wrap. I love the bark that you get on those pork ribs that are just salt and pepper. You can see the meat has a nice mahogany color. It's absolutely fantastic. This is why I love using salt and pepper. Let's get these sweet rib tips wrapped up first. All right, so like I said before, we're gonna be using foil. All right, we're going on with some awesome looking butter. So we're gonna put a couple pads of butter down. All right, perfect. Next, brown sugar. You don't want a good amount. Remember, these are supposed to be sweet ribs. All right, brown sugar's done. Last but not least, honey. Let me go get these rib tips. All right, here's our rib tips. These smell so good and they're super sticky. Check these out. These look phenomenal, man. They smell so good. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Let's get these wrapped up right on down into the butter and honey. Then, wrap it up. This is going to be good. I'm gonna get this right back on the smoker, and then I'll be back and we'll get ready to wrap the other rib tips. Let's get the wrap ready for the savory rib tips. All right, so we're using butcher paper for this, and it's even simpler than the other one. That's because we're using one thing, and it is one of the best things you can have, lard. If this was beef, I'd be using tallow, but since it's pork, we're going with lard. Down with some nice pads of lard. Let me go get these rib tips. These smell so good. Here's our savory rib tips. Check that out. Don't these look good? The bark on here is incredible. Look at that. Just salt and pepper. Just look at that crust, man. You see it's got a nice mahogany color. Super juicy already. Check it out. I'm gonna have to do a video on St. Louis style ribs, just salt and pepper. Be sure to subscribe because this video will be coming out. It's gonna be so good. But let's get these rib tips down. I'm gonna slide this lard back, lay this down on top. Now let's wrap this up. And there you go. I'm getting these back on the smoker. Man, those rib tips look good. But I got them back on the smoker. I'm thinking they're gonna go for another hour. Then they should be ready. So I'll see you when they're done. I'm gonna unwrap them and give them a try. Can't wait. All right, those rib tips are done and they're smelling amazing. Pull them off the smoker. I'm gonna let them rest a little bit. Then I'll unwrap them, slice into them, and I'm gonna give them a try. All right, here's the rib tips. I'm super excited to try these. Without further ado, let's get these unwrapped. All right, so I'm gonna take the savory ones out first. Oh man, these smell so good. All right, now let's check out these sweet ribs. Oh man, so much sauce. These look good. Oh man, these are so tender. All right, there we go. I'm just gonna take that excess liquid, dump it all over these rib tips. You don't want to waste any of that. All right, this is making some hell of a mess here, but check this out. These look good, huh? Nice little sheen to them. It's gonna be so good. But I'm thinking these savory ones are gonna be even better. Check that out, man. The bark on here is incredible. You see it's super tender already. All right, so I'm gonna slice these up into some nice appetizer chunks. I'm gonna give this a try. All right, so what I like to do with rib tips, there is cartilage in here. You probably won't be able to figure out where exactly to cut, so just go ahead and cut it into some decent sized chunks. Just like so. You can see this cartilage here. So I just leave this chine bone end right like it is, one big chunk, but take a look at this. Look at how tender this is. These bones are just gonna come right out. This is gonna be so good. Look at one of these little chunks, man. Check that out. This is gonna be perfect for a little appetizer. Nice and juicy, beautiful crust. Man, these are going to be good. All right, so we got the sweet all cut up. Now, time to cut the savory one. All right, so here's the chine bone. What I like to do is just cut that off. That's its own chunk. And then just go ahead and cut these into some nice appetizer sizes. There is cartilage in here, but you'll be able to cut right through it. The crust on this is amazing. So this is what I was saying about the cartilage. It's running through there, just like that. The meat's gonna come right off there, and you can cut right through it with a knife, so don't worry about it. But look at this. Holy crap, that's juicy. These are gonna be some good ribs. You look at this bark you got on here. Tell me you wouldn't want that as an appetizer. These are some of the best appetizers you can make. People won't know what to expect. So good. But I got these all cut up. Let's give them a try. All right, I'm pumped how these things came out. They smell great. I'm ready to try them. So I'm just gonna dig right in. I'm gonna go with the savory ones first. So let's give it a try. All right, here we go. It's got a nice smoke ring on here. See how tender it is? Just check this out. Breaks right apart. All right, here we go. See how this thing tastes. So good. Basic. The pepper, the bark. First off, let me just start with that. The bark is so good. It's got a nice crunch to it. Then right below that is just super tender, juicy meat. Absolutely phenomenal. That pork flavor really comes through from just using the salt and pepper. That is phenomenal pork right there. Let me give the sweet one a try, see how that one came out too. Again, super tender. Pulls right apart. All right, here we go. Let's try the sweet rib tips. Wow. That's really good. That is very good. This is very tough to pick which one I like better. They're both great in their own ways. I really can't choose which one's better. Just really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for that really savory, meaty, porky flavor, go with this. It's a home run. It's absolutely delicious. The texture's there, super tender. If you're looking for that more traditional barbecue pork flavor, this is what you want right here. Nice and sweet. It's got all those different spices in there. These taste like ribs because that's really what they are. This gives you that traditional barbecue pork flavor that everyone's looking for. So this is a great option. For appetizers, you can't beat this. Little tiny bites. Everyone will love them. So be sure to give this a try, guys. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Got a bunch of good stuff coming out. New videos every week. And I'm always looking for suggestions. So if you have something you'd like me to cook, please leave it in the comments down below. Till next time, get out there and smoke something good.